Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Vowin, as always, coming to you live from another episode here in our hardcore totemless survival world. Oh, yeah! And today we got a lot going on. We are going to try our best to get a lot done, see what we can get accomplished, and we'll find out the rest. Let's go. First thing on the agenda, we're going to swoosh around a little bit and just try to get ourselves in order for what we are going to do today. We're going to check on our wheat supply. We're going to check on the Keynesian theory building over here to get our sugarcane, of course. And then try and figure out exactly why our iron farm is not producing a single golem. Because I truly am stumped as to why nothing is coming out of it. My best guess, however, is that one of the other two village networks in here, either the ones in the farm producing bone meal or the librarians, are too close to this building. Either way, one thing is for sure: either we need to move this building back a hefty amount so that iron golems can continue to spawn, or we move the other villagers. However, spoiler alert, we move the other villagers, but they do not get moved far enough. Alright, here we got ourselves gathering a bit of the resources super speedy. We're trying our best to get up all these buildings, to move the things that we need to do, and officially start the late game. We're about 250, 260 days in at this point, and I feel it's time. We need to move all of the things that we started with, and that way we can actually work out how our base is going to look in the afterthought, and that is critically important here. So you see me just working my butt off to fix that. What we're doing is we're moving the villagers, we're moving the starter iron farm, we're moving the breeder, we're moving literally everything that we have started with in this series, and that is to make way for the actual buildings. Once we have the buildings in here, it is very easy to plot out where the pathways go and then even decide, hey, I need a few more buildings here or less buildings here. Hey, this needs to be more naturey. Hey, this needs to be a farm, etc., etc. There is a lot that still needs to be done, but I have no doubt that we'll get there very quickly. And that's the real beauty of it, to be completely honest, is just making it as it needs to be. And little by little, you are going to see this island completely 100% transformed into a gigantic forest. Very different kind, to be honest with you. And I think you guys will appreciate the vision that we have going on in my head. But we'll see. it. We're working on the little house here for our precious villagers, our librarians. The most valuable of all of the freaking villagers that we own. They are going to go inside this house. Now, I genuinely thought that this was going to be far enough away from the Iron Golem farm in which we wouldn't have to worry about it. But now that I've moved the other villagers, spoiler alert too, now that we've moved everything, I just can't figure out exactly how much space they need. I probably could look it up via the wiki or via some kind of Minecraft forum or whatever the case, but I just really, for the life of me, want to figure this out, and I can't. So we're going to move the librarians into this blue house, and for some reason I've come to grip with a theme that I want to do. And that's pretty much, I want to have a variety of different colored houses, and then we'll do the texturing and everything like that at some other point in time. I really just need the walls up for this particular moment so that we can put our villagers in here and relocate them. This, however, means that we do need to completely relocate where our Iron Golem farm is by forward like 20 blocks or so, and that should be enough that we don't have to worry about it and can actually get it going. So we'll have to find that out here very shortly. But what I have learned is this dealing with villagers, really anything dealing with villagers, is a long and arduous task. It is not simple, and it usually takes far, far longer than you ever thought possible, even though it should be very, very simple. But you can see me going as fast as I can here, trying to get through all of this, getting the columns up, getting the spots where they're going to be, lighting up all the room, putting the torches in to make sure that nothing can spawn inside, because obviously, if they were to get inside, we are screwed, and we do not want that. So you'll see me here in just a moment, taking all the villagers from their dirt hut that we did on effectively day one to their new home, which is going to be the blue house over here. And I think it'll work quite nicely, and I hope that we will not have to move them again, because truly moving villagers is an awful and excruciating experience, and I don't miss it, to be honest with you. I just don't. So yeah, we're gonna continue trying our best to make this city work, but we are almost out of the starter game, and that is freaking huge. So let's go into another musical time lapse, and then we'll be back. right. That was truly an exhilarating experience. I know you couldn't tell my real frustrations through the use of a super sped up footage. However, let me tell you, the frustrations with those villagers was high. Very high, to be exact. So now what we're doing is getting rid of the rest of their shelter. We're trying to clean up, make things a little bit on the nicer side. Meanwhile, iron golems still are not spawning, and I still don't know why, and that's always a bad news bears situation, but you know, it is what it is. And we're just gonna keep on keeping on with it and hope for the best. Here you can see me try to push the zombie. Maybe that's the issue, I think, but no, it's not. Truly, it should not matter where that zombie is in there, as long as he can see him, like in the case of that trapdoor and those slabs, and he can, in fact, see the lads. However, did not do it, and we almost lost our villagers as a result of that, so it was not great, to be completely honest, but, you know, what can you do? So I do know that I will have to move this whole thing forward literally 20 or 30 blocks, give or take, just to see if that works, but otherwise I'm kind of out of ideas for why this thing doesn't work in the first place. I truly am. It should work. The only thing that is not making it work is gotta be the villagers. And I am not sure how to fix that quite yet because, well, I have not done any research on the subject matter at all, and it, you know, is what it is. So we're getting rid of all of the rails in which the villagers are on. That way we can place a block above their head, as well as being able to place a trap door right before all of the villagers. This allows me to have a little bit more safety for our prized possessions, and it makes me feel a little bit better that it'll be harder to kill them at the very least. So, the plan is, now that all of them have their trapdoor, have their plank above their head, the goal is to get ourselves some emeralds, light up the roof, and then we need to go and get ourselves a lot of the name tags so that we can identify each and every one of our villagers and don't have to look through them aimlessly each and every single time that we need a frickin' book. So that is going to be huge in the long run, will save us a lot of time, and I am very much excited for some kind of organization. Now, obviously, it's not great. Takes time, effort, but all of these things do add up in the late game. And trust me when I say this, I completely know what it's like to play Minecraft in such a way that you are spending more time than not just trying to figure some stuff out, truly. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not, I guess, but I so often do not make farms. I do not make farms of any volition, and usually will struggle my ass off to try and get the resources that I need because I'm too stubborn to look up how to build a farm, a tutorial, or whatever it is, and actually make things significantly easier on myself. So, you know, we just gotta live with that. And that is A-O-freaking-K. Here I thought by taking out all the iron golems that currently existed, hey, maybe they'll spawn over here. Guess what? I was wrong. They did not. But this was a lot of like trial and error going back and forth to really hone in on if we could do it or not. And now we need to repair our tools just a little bit, or else we can get some emeralds while we are doing this. And emeralds are important because we need to be able to name a few more things, I believe, and just keep on keeping on. I feel like the next thing that needs to go is in fact the string duper, and obviously we will rebuild that once we get a proper house for them. Have some proper way of getting all the string that we can and trading as much as we want. That will be a huge, huge help for us, but, you know, it is how it goes. Lastly, I remember us doing quite a bit of the terraforming nature here. We are just filling in a lot of the terrain that is a little bit off kilter. We're making sure that it is completely filled in because I do not want to simply have a mob farm all over our beautiful forest once it is done. And if we do this now, it will save us time in the future so I don't have to track down these dark spots and worry about fixing each and every one of them. So I try to do these in a satisfying way that while you're placing them in the direction that you are, it seems to work out pretty well without the free cam mod, which I really need to look into because I am very tired of cutting out inventory situations. And you'll notice that there is, in fact, a few inventory situations going on in this particular episode. Just because I was feeling a little bit lazy, and although there is a decent amount of content, I knew that that is just not in the cards for me right now. Because I'm tired, and I don't want to do it personally. So what we're gonna do is just keep terraforming. You see that I start with lines and then we go back and we fill in those lines. It makes things really, really easy for us so that you know exactly where to put it and how to fill it in. Because if you don't, well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you. So we fly back and forth, we get a bunch of dirt, then we end up usually mining a bunch of dirt and recouping our losses just as quickly as we were able to place them. But that is also the reason why we have that second building now, so that we can hold a significant amount of dirt, which is something that we very much need. But anyway, I think that is just about going to do it for me today. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And until next time, ciao.